What's up, y'all? The NBA season is back, and while teams continue to find their footing, our partners at FANATICS Sportsbook are already running championship plays. Bet with Fanatics and earn up to 10% fan cash on your bets, win or lose. So even if your bet misses, you're still scoring fan cash, which you can use on NBA gear, tickets, and exclusive Fanatics events. And with fair play, if your players go down injured in the first half, your bet stays live. Make the switch and get more ways to win with FANATICS Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome to KFS Weekly Wagers. I'm Shawn for W, and hopefully you're staying warm because a snowstorm came out of nowhere in the New York metropolitan area these last 2 days, and I live in Westchester, which is not upstate New York to some of you clowns, and I have shoveling to do after this, which is not going to be fun. But it's always fun to get together with my man Mensa Smith to talk betting. Mensa, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. We had a semi-successful weekend of hate watches. The Bills lost. That was awesome. But the Patriots won. That was not so awesome. And a great way to end playoff weekend with that Chicago versus Los Angeles playoff game with Caleb Williams with a PS5 controller for a football arm. It's ridiculous what he's able to do. But feeling really good about sports in general. The Knicks, not so much, but we'll get into, we don't really have to talk too much about the New York Knicks, more about how, we can use their struggles or their successes to earn a little bit of money.
Absolutely. So yes, it was a successful hate watch for myself Saturday afternoon because I don't hate Josh Allen. I just hate the people who like Josh Allen. That's actually the people who love Josh Allen. Those are the people that I hate. So,
Shawn, really quickly, I think you're in the. I'm not sure if you're in the mic, but I'm hearing a lot of
background noise.
In the room, yeah, it sounds like you're in the room.
No, it's
Your mic's just that good. Okay.
Yes. So my son is making noise over there. Hey, son.
No. I like. It's not that I'm hearing everything in the room. It's like I feel like your sound is just. I'm not sure if your mic is toggled. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, let's wait. Actually, you know what? Here we go. Thank you very much. Let's do this. How about now?
Yeah. Now there we go.
Okay.
Saved Andrew a headache.
Should we do this all over again? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to KFS Study Hall. I am Shawn for W.
It's Weekly Wagers, brother. Smith. It's not Study Hall. It's Weekly.
It's Weekly Wagers. All right.
One more time. Third time.
One more time. Listen, live TV ain't nothing like it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome to KFS Weekly Wagers. I am Shawn for W. Thank you for joining me today, and I'm always happy to be joined by my main man, Mensa Smith, who, like me, had some successful hate watches in the NFL this weekend from a betting and from a pure hatred perspective.
Absolutely. Hate. And when you can't hate some more. So, as a Jets and Mets fan, and well, the Knicks have been a lot better, but as a Jets fan, football is really all about hate watches for me. So love to see the Bills lose, hate to see the Patriots win, and hopefully Jarrett Stidham can get the job done next Sunday.
All right. I'm glad you brought that up because we can dive into football a little bit here. So the Denver Broncos are, I believe, 10-1 to win the Super Bowl. And everyone is acting as if the Patriots are going to walk into Denver and punch them in the face. And 10-1 to win the Super Bowl, which is basically a 2-game parlay, which means if they win and they're they're a plus 180. Last I looked, they were plus 180 to on the money line against New England. That means if they win the game, for it to be for plus 1,000 to pay out, like if you bet money line both games, they would be minus 300, basically plus 300 in the Super Bowl. And I don't think they're going to be plus 300. And I think, listen, and it's not like we have not seen teams with backup quarterbacks win the Super Bowl and beat New England on the way to do it, Jarrett Stidham, listen, here's what I'll say. I'm not going to act like Jarrett Stidham is Nick Foles. But then again, Nick Foles wasn't Nick Foles, so he became Nick Foles. And I'm not going to tell you that Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix are even, that there's no drop-off. But I don't think the drop-off is as big as some people make it out to be. And there's a specific reason why Sean Payton acquired Jarrett Stidham before they got Bo Nix. So then for all y'all out there that's like, oh, this is you're going to throw the Pats money line or Pats minus 3.5 or 2.5 and a teaser, parlay, whatever. Just be careful. That's all.
Yeah. Another thing about Jarrett Stidham was drafted by the New England Patriots. And Bo Nix is this generation's Mark Sanchez, a guy who's carried by an awesome run game and an elite defense. And if you think about the Patriots don't win yesterday unless CJ Stroud plays CTE ball. And if you think about Keyshawn Boot, a 5th-round pick at wide receiver, beats Derek Stingley Jr., maybe the second best cornerback in football in single coverage. So they were at home. They lose the home field. I think they lose home field advantage so they're going to be playing at Mile High. And if Jarrett Stidham can just stay in his lane and allow guys like Nick Bonito and Patrick Surtain and that Denver Broncos defense, the Orange Crush, to do what they do, then, hey, it's anybody's ball game. And just do yourself a favor and look at the New England Patriots, who they beat on their way here. It's not necessarily murderer's row. It's the exact opposite. They got to play a last place schedule. If you just look at their schedule, bro, it's a bunch of weak teams, weak AFC East division they played in. This is not a team that I believe is tested on the way there. Not rookie head coach, second-year quarterback, first-year head coach in Mike Vrabel. This is a team that can be had. So the Patriots are not necessarily this wagon that is unbeatable. And I like Denver. I do like Denver. I don't know how much I like them, but I like them enough that you got to pause when it comes to New England money line, I think.
Yeah. So again, out there, please be careful. All right. Now speaking of CTE ball, let's talk about our New York Knickerbockers. 0-3 last week, 0-3 against the spread. Excuse me. They have now the 8th best record in the league in terms of money line. That includes a cup final against San Antonio. They are now a sub 500 team against the spread. And listen, they've lost 8 of their last 10, and over under they're 1-2 to the over. So they went under in 2 of their 3 games. They're still 4th in the NBA in that category. And now I'm gonna find this tweet from our friends at New York Basketball. Shout out to them. They're second to none. And when it comes to like covering this team on Twitter, and the New York Knicks have lost 8 of 10. And they have, after their loss to Phoenix at home, they have the East's worst record, worst defensive rating, worst effective field goal percentage, worst true shooting percentage, second worst net rating, third worst assist to turnover ratio, third worst pace, and third worst loose balls recovered. Last week, I had the audacity to say that Mensa smelled like French fries. No, the New York Knicks smell like French fries, and they smell like old French fries. Just dive into betting and sweating real quick. So Andrew's still in the lead, 84 points. Shawn and Jonathan are in a virtual tie with 66 points. I say virtual because Shawn has a game in hand. That is tonight. I'll be giving out my picks on the KFS on all KFS socials later after the show. Jeff was 62 and Mensa with a 12-point game, 12-point night the other night. Got us up to 39. Kudos to you. You said, you listen, what we always say is not how you start, it's how you finish. So Mensa's climb up the leaderboard. In terms of Fanatics best bets, this is where Mensa has been kicking behind all year. 17-9. I got 2 in a row right last week, so I am now 11-13-1. So I'm gonna get to Mount 500. And again, if you took every bet we had this year, you'd be making money, including on Sunday where 2 of the 3 bets hit. I had Grayson Allen over 2.5 threes. That cashed in the first half. And I think Andrew had I forget what he had. I can look it up. And the only one that didn't hit was Jeff had Mitch over 4.5 points, which bold strategy, Cotton. I hope that works out for you. But listen, back to the Knicks. Mensa, your thoughts on their performance this week? Betting straight up. Like, what did you see? Are you panicking? Are you jumping out the window? Are you jumping off the cliff? Like, how are you feeling?
So I think New York Knicks fans are used to their team overperforming, especially in the month of January. If you remember the Isaiah Hartenstein, OG Anunoby, Shaq and Kobe of defense month about 2 seasons ago, the New York Knicks right now are in a rough patch, and it makes them difficult to wager with just because their defense is underperforming. You're not getting what you want out of Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. Karl Anthony Towns seems to be as disengaged as he's ever seen before. And then the captain is dealing with some injury issues as well as Josh Hart. So you're talking about the heart and soul of the team and Josh Hart not necessarily always being out there. Jalen Brunson not being out there as of recent. Landry Shamit's coming back into the fold, which is good for the New York Knicks. And then there's always the one thing that is undersold is if Gershon Yabusele was playing to the standard that he played at last season, then maybe the Knicks would be able to weather the storm a little bit more. But now that you're getting deeper into your bench and you're seeing guys like Kevin McCullough Jr., you're seeing guys like Mohamed Diawara, Tyler Kolek is not having a strong month the way he had in December. A lot of guys are disappointing in that you have to look back at coaching. And it falls on the coach and his ability to get these guys ready. The only thing that we can count on for the New York Knicks is that the defense is going to get the doors blown off by pretty much whoever they play. They lost to Sacramento. They lost 2 games to Phoenix recently. They're not playing to their standard, so it's probably best to fade them by taking team total overs for their opponents. Maybe the night's not the best night to do that because the Dallas Mavericks are an injured team. But until the New York Knicks prove that they can play to their standard in terms of the standard of their talent, then it's probably best to stay away from player props, except for a few guys who've been really consistent, and I'm sure we'll get into that today. But otherwise, it's been a rough go of it. How do I feel about the Knicks at large as a fan? I'm still on the team. I'm still on their boat. Still like Karl, still like Jalen, still like OG and Mikal. And while the day is January 19th, it's Martin Luther King Day. By the time it's Mother's Day and teams have to look the New York Knicks in the eyes and beat them 4 out of 7 times, I do believe the Knicks will have the ship righted by then. But as of now, it's been a really tough stretch of it. And this is all part of their journey. That's a big thing for me, is just where's the team in their journey? This is a rough patch. I know a lot of people want to see one guy get traded for the dude in Milwaukee, want to see the coach get fired and have his glasses thrown off. I know we want to see all these things, right? And that's okay. We're fans. We're allowed to hold the team accountable on a day-to-day basis with our emotional response to things. But as far as what we do here on Weekly Wagers, we have to pull out the emotion and just look at the team, how they're performing, and how we can leverage their performance to benefit on our end.
And that's a good segue to the preview for tonight's game against those very injured Dallas Mavericks. The Knicks are giving 10.5 points. Okay. Minus 450 on the money line. If you want to get froggy, the Mavericks are plus 350, and the over-under is 230 points. Mavericks on the road this year. 4-14, 5-13 against the spread. 7 wins, 7 overs, 11 unders, 14-12 as an underdog, 4-8 as an away underdog, 6-10 after a win. They beat Utah 138-120 at home, 15-9 with equal rest, and 9-6 versus the Eastern Conference. So these, even though overall, obviously, they're not a very good team, like, they see against the spread, they seem to be doing all right, even for a team that's 17-26. Knicks at home. Actually, before I do that, the reason why I would actually let me get to the Knicks first. The New York Knicks, 16-5 at home, 14-7 against the spread, 10-10, 10 overs, 10 unders. Deep dive. 19-18 as a favorite, 13-7 as a home favorite, 6-10 after a loss. Again, they lost to Phoenix at home, 106-99. That's just say 14-12 of equal rest, not 14-2. That'll be the day. And they're 7-7 versus the Western Conference. So now, on one hand, you can see all these stats for the Mavs against the spread and be like, oh, maybe I should take 10.5. I'm not so sure about that. And let me explain to you why. Because if I remove this and I share this, let's see here. There we go. Can you see where is it? Oh, hold on. Add to stage. This is the Dallas Mavericks injury report. And yeah. Daniel Gafford is out. So is D'Angelo Russell is out. Illness. I mean, he probably was at the club last night. PJ Washington out. Cooper Flagg, questionable. And then definitely out Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, Kyrie Irving, and Dante Exum. So they're missing some guys. Now, even though they are missing some guys, as Mensa alluded to, they're going through a rough patch. And if you heard me on KFS Study Hall, if you haven't, you should absolutely listen to me on KFS Study Hall. The Knicks are choosing not to play at the level that they are capable of playing. You know, long season, dog days, a win or whatever. They're choosing not to play that way. And what happens is when you choose not to play that way long enough, teams start to feel like they can get over on you. Teams walk into matchups with confidence on you. And even though the Knicks played for the first time in a long time, played with a level of intensity and physicality that we're not seeing in weeks, well, not weeks, maybe a week and a half, they still lost to the Phoenix Suns. They lost to Phoenix Suns. They were down after the third quarter despite leading at the half and having a 16-0 run in the third quarter. They were still down after 3. So for me, at this point, when it comes to betting the Knicks, I'm just trying to find the safest, surest things. And for me, the two safest, surest things have been, one, Miles McBride, Deuce McBride threes. And then I saw that Dallas is actually like really good against defending the 3. But then the other thing I'm looking at is rebounding. Because people wanted to tie up Karl-Anthony Towns and put him in a barrel and send him to Milwaukee. That dude had 20 rebounds the other night. And the Dallas Mavericks are, I believe they're 20. They are, in terms of rebounds allowed, they allow the 4th most defensive rebounds in the league at 34.4 and the 2nd most offensive rebounds in the league at 12.4. And guess who plays for the New York Knicks? Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson. So best believe my best bet when I put together my video for betting and sweating will likely involve a rebounding prop of one of those two. Mensa, what say you for tonight's game? What are you looking at?
So we looked at the same numbers today, and I saw that the Dallas Mavericks were an awful rebounding team, but they are first in 3-point percentage defense. They are second in 3-point makes and 5th in 3-point attempts. So they defend the 3-point line really well. The flip side of that is they do not defend the 2-point line well at all. They are bottom 2, I believe, in 2-point makes and 2-point attempts. So I guess Jason Kidd is like, look, we'll surrender the 2s, but we're not going to let teams shoot 3s on us. This way we can stay competitive. And one of the things that I had texted when I realized this about, I forget which team was like that. I think it may have been Portland. The night I said that Jordan Clarkson was going to score over 8 points, and he did. It sounds like Jordan Clarkson's music to me, but it also sounds like a good way if he plays tonight would be if you want to take Jalen Brunson's points over, but also take his 3-point under, expect him to get a lot of 2s tonight because they don't really have anybody that can guard that. They don't really have anybody that can guard Jalen Brunson. It is his former team, but they do a good job of stopping teams from shooting the 3. So if Jalen Brunson has 14 2-point makes and gets to the line another 8 times, he'll hit his over, right? But if he does it on a 1 for 6, 1 for 7 3-point shooting night, you might be able to get some really good juice there. Another person I would like to bet on there would be Mikal Bridges, who loves to shoot the mid-range jump shot. And then another guy is, again, that guy Jordan Clarkson, who does not care about shooting threes at all. He's going to grab that ball at the top of the key, wave everybody off, and get right downhill. So yeah, Jalen Brunson over on points. I also like Jordan Clarkson's over on points. And Mikal Bridges is a nice little, if you want to put a half unit there, that'd be a good bet as well.
Yeah, I forgot to mention at the top of the show. So on the Knicks injury report, Jalen Brunson is questionable for tonight's game, as well as Josh Hart. Josh Hart his status is day to day. So I wouldn't surprise me to see one of these two back. But I'm with you. If Jalen Brunson plays, I'm looking at his points. If he doesn't, then to your point, I'm looking at Mikal Bridges, who loves to kill in the mid range. That's probably, and yes, Jordan Clarkson is a great call. I think the Jordan Clarkson playoff game is going to hit like crack in the 80s, but this should be a matchup. And again, especially for all the injuries Dallas has, like if they don't win this game, and look, I may pick Dallas to cover just because the Knicks have decided to be on BS, but if they win this, the Knicks should win this game. They should win. Like, they should win. Simple as that.
I will say, don't count out Madison Square Garden, man. Cooper Flagg is an East Coast guy, and this would be his first trip to Madison Square Garden. He may be questionable, but if he can play, I expect him and all of his friends from Maine to be in that building and for Cooper Flagg to try to put on a performance. But maybe he doesn't because OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges are out there and they'll probably embarrass him because he's a rookie. But do not discount Madison Square Garden. Teams on their only trip to the Garden will try to be as healthy as possible.
Absolutely. All right, so that's what we're looking for tonight. Now, let us get into the futures updates. Let's see now. Where are we? Okay, right here. Actually, I'm going to do something. Before I don't know if you saw it. We're going to play a little game. Let me do this. Oh, what happened to my camera? That's weird. Ugh, there we go. Okay, let's play a game. Oh, that's what's happening. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm trying to type in. Okay, so I was trying to go to a website here, and it starts with a C, but for some reason my computer thought I was still in this window, so I kept turning off my camera because I kept typing the letter C. All right. So for futures, first let's do championship. Mensa, where do you think the Knicks are for the championship to win the championship in terms of like second best, third best, fourth best? I'm not gonna make you guess an actual number.
Fourth best odds.
All right, fourth best odds. Okay. To win the Eastern Conference, what do you think they are ranked between 1 and 5?
They're still the favorite, but they have dropped in their odds. I would say they're probably like between +3 and 400, but they're still the favorite.
Okay. And for the Atlantic Division, what do you think they rank?
They're probably second behind Boston at this point because of the 2-8 stretch that they went through.
All right. Mensa, you, sir, are a very smart man. Especially with the Atlantic Division. The Knicks are now second favorites in the Atlantic Division behind the Boston Celtics. To Mensa's point, going 2-8 and dropping behind Boston, I think like 2 or if not 2, maybe 3 times led to this. And this makes me kind of look silly because I've said all year no one else is winning this division. And guess what? I still believe no one else is winning this division. So the Knicks went from -160 a week ago to +140, and Boston went from +180 to the favorites of -130. Still favorites to win the East. They were +280 last week. This week they're +300. NBA champ, and now here's one I want to focus on. Their NBA championship odds have not moved in a week. It is still +12, still +1,200, still the third best odds. OKC moved a little bit. OKC went from +115 to +110. Denver +750 to +650. But Vegas, especially our friends at FANATICS Sportsbook, do not believe that the Knicks should not be worse than third favorites to win the title. I say that to say everyone out there crashing out, blow up the team, break the team up. This ain't it. And the NBA odds makers still have the Knicks as the third best odds to win the title. And listen, I think the Knicks are gonna have a 9-game winning streak somewhere in them between now and the end of the season, and then vibes are gonna be back. I will also say this, that I'll turn over to Mensa for his thoughts. I've been telling y'all all year, throw the Knicks winning the Atlantic Division in a parlay with stuff. I would still do that right now. I still think the Knicks are winning this division. I think this is an opportunity to get value in the Knicks winning division, because Boston's been on a tear. They'll probably come back down to earth a little bit. I still think the Knicks are the favorites to win the division. They should be, and they will be.
Yeah, I think the Knicks win the division. I'm not really worried about Boston. One thing that I tweeted under DJ Zulo, one of the best content creators that we're lucky to have here at Knicks Film School, when he was speaking about, I guess, the Knicks' lack of leadership, is my only pushback to his statement at the time was that in the NBA, you do not take two things. You don't make swathing conclusions over 2 months. 1 month is going to be Mickey Mouse March for teams that are out of the playoffs, and the other month is going to be the long winter of January for NBA contenders. Teams have trouble. It's a long season. This is the month where you see the Utah Jazz sneak up and beat everybody. This is the month where you see the New York Knicks have a 2-8 stretch. This is the month where you see Oklahoma City lose. It's not really indicative of who these teams are, because it's their focus. You're talking about guys who've been deep in the playoffs 2 and 3 seasons now, right? Ever since Jalen Brunson has been here, the New York Knicks have won at least one playoff round. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Their mentality and their focus has shifted because they know they can beat teams in the playoffs. They can beat the Boston Celtics as an underdog in the playoffs. They can beat the Cleveland Cavaliers as an underdog. They can take care of business as a favorite against a Philadelphia 76ers team that has Joel Embiid. They know that, look, we're on this long road trip. We're seeing teams every other day for the entire month. We just have to make it out alive. You want to see these guys preserve themselves a bit. So do I forgive the New York Knicks for dropping these games? No, because at the end of the day, I'm watching these games and it's pissing me off watching Mikal Bridges get beat. It's pissing me off watching OG Anunoby call his own number and pass off Deuce McBride in the flat, especially if you're one of us, right? It upsets me. It does. It bothers me to see Karl-Anthony Towns not get back on defense. It does. But when it comes down to who these guys will be in that playoffs, do I trust a Detroit Pistons team to beat the New York Knicks? No. Do I trust a Boston Celtics team to beat the New York Knicks without Jason Tatum or 40% of Jason Tatum? No, I do not. Do I trust the Cleveland Cavaliers to do anything? No. But I do trust the New York Knicks to get it together. We killed Mikal Bridges all year last year. People hated Mikal Bridges last year. And you know what Mikal Bridges did in the playoffs? He locked everything up. He was one of our best performers, one of our most clutch performers, because something about contenders, about guys who know when they need to be ready, they will be ready when you need them most. Karl-Anthony Towns, we all hate him this year. I want to remind people, Karl-Anthony Towns led the playoffs in rebounds last year, and he came up big in a lot of fourth quarters for the New York Knicks, especially when Jalen Brunson was on the bench. So this is a team that I expect their shot making to show up. I expect their clutch defense to show up. I expect Jalen Brunson to show up. I expect Josh Hart to show up. And that, when we're talking about futures, as far as winning the Eastern Conference and getting to an NBA championship, that is what we are banking on. So I do still like the Knicks to come out of the Eastern Conference. I do still like the Knicks to get to an NBA Finals. And I like their chances against anybody, especially at 12-1. And to win the Atlantic Division, this team is going to figure it out post All-Star break. They're going to go on a real good stretch. They're going to get away from basketball. They're going to get away from Mike Brown. Everybody's going to come back refreshed and ready to go, or at least that's what I'm counting on. So I expect them to win the Atlantic Division. I definitely expect them to win the Eastern Conference, and I like their chances against anybody in the NBA Finals.
Fuck Boston. All right.
100%.
All right. So no, that's what very well said. And I think there's value in taking the Knicks to win the Atlantic Division at plus 140. All right. That is our show for today. Thank you to everyone for watching. If you are like what you are listening to and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the Knicks Film School Podcast on all podcast platforms. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 stars. If you're watching us on YouTube and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as like this video. So that way you can get alerts for when we go live for shows like this one with Mensa, KFS After School with myself and Jeff J, the weekly recap with John and Jeremy, X's and O's with Benji and DJ, and obviously our post-game live streams and our emergency live streams when, for example, we trade Gershon Yabusele for a ham sandwich and a croissant. If you are not following us on social media, please follow us. We are at Knicks Film School. That is Film SKOOL across all socials. And if you want even more Knicks Film School content, you can sign up for our Patreon, where you'll get bonus episodes and ad-free episodes at that. Or you can sign up to our Substack newsletter written by one Jonathan Macri 5 days a week. So for Mensa, I am Sean for W. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Knicks Nation, let's ride. If you're out on your bike tonight, you're a moron because it's snowing outside.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See the Fanatics Sportsbook app.